Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome to tonight's class. We're going to continue with almost the last part of this unit number 6. Remember, in 1 week, we are going to continue with block number 2. So you can start registering now. You don't have to wait. Yeah? So you can start registering now. I will let you know tomorrow in a message, in a text. So welcome. We introduced or we've introduced new vocabulary for this unit, and in this unit we started including vocabulary for you to agree or disagree with an opinion about something, and the use of different verbs, especially those verbs that follow other verbs in the gerund form. It's the ing form or the infinitive form with to, right? You don't have to memorize these verbs. All you have to do is practice um, writing sentences using these key verbs that you learned in this unit. But before you try to think on your own ideas, you can choose to first copy the exercises, read out loud, say the things you remember, talk to yourselves in front of the mirror so you can see yourself speaking English, and, well, identify some mistakes you may already have, or try to identify them and correct them when you practice. This is something you have to do, and you have no option to continue doing it. Now we are going to continue with part of the vocabulary we wrote last class. And welcome. Let's start. I'm recording a documentary. Complete the sentences and the puzzle with television words. We have the across part and the down part, and we're going to use the vocabulary we used last class. We wrote and introduced last class. Number 1, Jenny likes to watch of all sitcoms on TV. She watches the same shows from the 1990s every night. So from the vocabulary we wrote last class, what do you think is the word to complete this sentence? From the vocabulary we wrote last class, what do you remember could be the word to complete this sentence?
Reruns.
Reruns. Reruns. Remember? Repetitions. So Jenny likes to watch reruns, repetitions of all sitcoms on TV. She watches the same shows from the 1990s every night. What about number 5? Do you the sad parts of movies? I never watch them.
Skip.
Skip. Do you skip the sad part of movies? I never watch them. Skip. It's like next, next, next. 6. I'm going to work. Can you my favorite show? Thanks.
Record.
Yes. Can you record my favorite show? Thanks. I like watching TV shows online. I through the boring parts.
I fast forward through the boring parts.
Yes, I fast forward. Fast forward through the boring parts. Fast forward, remember, is when you don't skip. It's like next, 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 but you kind of press the button, the fast forward button, which is with 2 triangles to the right side, and you can see the scenes running fast, right? through the boring parts because uh, down. I don't pay for any TV channels, but there are some good shows on public TV, which is public already. Two, where's the control? I want to turn the TV on.
Remote. Remote.
Remote control. Three, do you have TV? You have great channels, but I didn't see a dish outside.
Satélite.
Satellite.
Satellite. Satellite TV. Four, I hate watching TV. I like the shows, but I don't like the
Commercial.
Commercials.
commercials, which can also be ads, right? You try to check if those words fit this crossword. Now, in order for us to continue, we're going to talk about a new topic. A new topic that is not actually new. You are going to see why. A new topic that is not actually new. Check. What am I talking about? We've talked about this before. Do you remember the present continuous?
Yeah.
What is the present continuous and what do we use it for? Do you remember?
Um, the things happens right now.
We use present continuous to talk about an action in progress, right? It can be an action in progress right now, or it can be an action in progress these days in my life. Yeah? So, present continuous needs the subject, the verb be, and the verb in ing. For example, I am watching TV. This is an action in progress, right? You can also contract this so it sounds more fluent. And the negative form of this is I'm not watching a movie. I'm watching TV. I'm not watching a movie. I'm watching TV. I mean, maybe a TV show with commercials, right? That's what I mean when I say I'm watching TV. Not literally watching TV, the thing, but what I can see on TV, right? The TV shows. I'm not watching a movie. I'm watching TV. This is an action in progress, but you can also say, for example, or I would change it to she. She is or she's studying college. This is an action in progress, but not an action in progress right now. This is an action in progress these days. Yeah? This is an action in progress these days. It may take a long time, maybe 3 years, 4 years, 10 years for a college degree. Yeah? But it's still an action in progress. It's something temporary. Yeah? Or you could also say, she's not working. We can add right now or now to the present continuous. So we know this is an action in progress, but it's right now, but it's kind of obvious if you can see it. But if you're through the phone, if you're on the phone talking to someone, then you cannot see. Yeah. So then you may need these expressions. When you use some expressions to talk about something temporary, like in your life these days, well, there are some sentences like she's studying college that express immediately that that person is doing this in her life. It is not something she's actually doing right now, right now, but in her life. But you can also include these days to the sentence, just so you make it clear. These days. What does this have to do with level A2? Well, we're going to add a third context to this present continuous. Present continuous for future plans. Present continuous for future plans. So this same, exactly the same structure, we're going to use it, but for future plans. That's why every time I explain this topic, I repeat the same. When people get to level A1, they finish level A1. And when they get to level A2, and they start watching movies in English without subtitles, they tend to say they understand, but they don't speak. And the reason why, even though you only have basic level of English, you say you understand but you don't speak, it's because first, you don't understand actually, but what you understand is the present continuous for level A1. Yeah? You understand present continuous, it's like, a verb being and a verb in ing, it's present continuous, I know. Yeah? But you identify it in a context right now or these days because that is a context you learned. Yeah? But it's not that way. Since you are watching a movie where they don't care if you're basic level, intermediate level, or advanced level, they don't care. They are not going to use present continuous for something happening right now and present continuous for something happening these days. And they are not going to include present continuous for future plans because you don't know yet. No, they don't care. So they will add every context of present continuous they have. So sometimes you think you understand, but you don't actually do, just because you get the context you learned in basic level. But that doesn't mean it's the only context it has. How are we going to see the difference between present continuous for something happening right now, present continuous for something happening these days, and present continuous for future plans? How are we going to see which one is it? The context, the complement. But check. For example, I'm recording the soccer game. How do we know this is not an action in progress right now or an action in progress these days, but a future plan? How do we know? How can we know?
Mm, because I don't know. I don't do. I don't play soccer game right now.
Yeah, but how do I know? I cannot see,
Mm, mm,
especially if we're on the phone and you tell me I'm recording the soccer game. It's like, how do I know you are not doing it right now, but you are going to do it later?
I don't know.
I'm
The
blocked
is for the grammatic.
because the see the future
Yeah,
later.
but how do I know? That is not there. Grammar is there. But it's the same grammar from present continuous right now and these days. It's the same exactly.
Because the context.
Okay, what context?
Um,
Recording, the verb,
The verb is the same now, these days, or for the future plan?
the future plan. Um,
We need the complement.
We don't have it, right? The context must be there somewhere. We need it. We don't have it. So you need, teacher, you need to give me more information. If you give it only like this, that can be right now, that can be these days because it's your job now, or that can be a future plan, but we don't know until I give you more information. Let's say the information. Well, this Saturday, America Cruz Azul is playing. Oh, and I cannot miss the game. I cannot miss it. No, 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 no. But I have to work. I have to work. So I'm recording the soccer game. Now I gave you the context. This sentence, I'm recording the soccer game, is a future plan. With the information I gave you, how do we know it's a future plan?
Repeat the question, please.
With the information I gave you, how do you know this is a future plan?
the soccer game is on Saturday.
It's on Saturday, right? So when is it going to be the future plan? On Saturday. Why am I recording the soccer game on Saturday? Did you identify that? Why am I recording the soccer game on Saturday? Why?
Because in Saturday play America with the other
Aha.
team.
Yeah, but why?
Because I'm work.
You?
Not
Him.
you, the
I
teacher.
what?
because you are working.
Because I am working, yeah?
Yeah.
Present continuous, present continuous, present continuous. Because you are working, teacher, you said it. Yeah?
Yeah.
And this is when you start practicing all the tenses you've learned. Simple present, simple past, present continuous, be going to for future plans, remember? Present continuous for future plans, which is basically the same. You have to identify every tense you've learned now, but we're going to focus on practicing present continuous for future plans. You need information. With only one sentence, there's no way you can know if this is going to be a plan for the future or an action in progress right now, unless you give a complement that tells you. For example, I can tell you, I'm recording the soccer game on Saturday. Yeah? So I don't have to explain the whole situation. I'm just telling you, I'm recording the soccer game on Saturday or next Saturday or tomorrow. Yeah? A time expression that gives me enough information so I know it's for the future. Not now, not these days, but for the future. Okay? So now you have to be careful. You have to pay close attention to every time expression you have in a sentence because you may have a grammar you already know for one context, but with one little complement, it would be something completely different. You can also have this in negative. I'm not recording the sitcom. The sitcom. So I'm recording the soccer game, I'm not recording the sitcom. It's the same grammar, the same present continuous structure, affirmative or negative or question, but with a different context. Yeah? Another example. She's having a soccer practice, no, party, this week. How do we know she's having a soccer party this week is a future plan? How do we know?
For this week,
This
the
week.
time expression.
So I'm not specifying when. I'm not saying let's talk it for real. Yeah. Today is Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday, the day after tomorrow's Friday, the day after tomorrow's Saturday, and then Sunday. I'm not saying when specifically, but I'm telling you this week. Yeah. So it can be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or maybe Sunday if we consider it part of this week. It's a future plan. Negative, she's not visiting her family. If we consider the affirmative sentence, this week, we can say she's not visiting her family this week. They're playing the Lions this weekend. Oh, they're not playing the Sharks. This is like the example I gave you. I'm recording a soccer game for the Cruz Azul versus America. I will tell you, Cruz Azul is playing the Lions this week. Cruz Azul is not playing the Sharks. It's like Cruz Azul is playing the America this week. Cruz Azul is not playing the Pumas. Yeah? So this is the structure, what the structure is about. Do you have any questions until now? Maria, please.
Here, what is the difference if I want to say there's not play the sharks? What's the time? The For example, and she's having a soccer party this week. Is present continue for future week maybe. But if I say only have, she's have a soccer is I don't know what.
Well, she's have a soccer party doesn't make any sense because this is not correct.
Okay.
Mm,
Or what?
but
Uh-huh.
but what's your question? If your question is if you can use this structure to make a
No,
difference, this is
if
not correct. Uh-huh.
I use only the verb in have or play or visit. What is the difference?
I don't think I'm getting your question, but let's see. What you mean is, what is the difference between using the verb having and the other verbs?
No. Use the verb only in simple form,
Mm,
but the time like in present continuous is this week or tomorrow, but in simple form,
present?
yes. What is the time? Or what what is it mean?
Mm. Well, if you use, we cannot use the simple form with she and the verb have because this is third person singular. But if you use a base form of the verb or a third person singular form of the verb, not the present continuous form, then that is a habit or a routine.
Okay.
Mm? So a present simple form, it's a habit or a routine, and present continuous is an action in progress or an action in progress right now or an action in progress these days or a future plan. So now we're depend on the time expressions.
Okay.
Later, we are going to join them both. Yeah, later in level B1 because there they will have another context. Yeah, that's why now we are only going to focus on these differences between the present continuous because it's kind of more complex when you put them together. Okay?
Okay. Thank.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So, yes, more contexts. That's why since the beginning I told you context is the key. Okay, I'm going to write some examples for questions. Check that they're the same. Oh, sorry. They're the same. Present continuous, the grammar structure, it's the same in a context right now, in a context these days, in a context for future plans. It's the same. But you have to be careful with the time expressions, yeah? The context, previous information or further information, you have to consider in order for you to identify the correct context. Is Zach watching the game on Sunday? Yeah, present continuous structure, but on Sunday, the time expression. The short answers are exactly the same. Yes, he is. No, he's not. Or no, he isn't. Yeah. Or are they watching the game on Sunday? Again, on Sunday, the time expression that shows the future. Yes, they are. No, they're not. Or no, they aren't, which is the same. Yeah. Or an open question, a WH question. What else are you recording on Friday? The time expression. I'm also recording a movie. But remember, you are not always going to have a time expression. Not always. Maybe the time expression or the future was introduced at the beginning of the conversation. For example, at the beginning of the conversation, they asked you, what are you doing next month? What are you doing? Check. What are you doing? Oh, nothing. Nothing? No, no, no. What are you doing next month? Ah, next month. Yeah. So when you start talking about that since the beginning, when they told you the context next month, and then you continue talking about next month, the whole conversation, you are not going to say next month, oh, next month, yes, next month, wait, next month, next month. You are not going to repeat next month, next month, next month all the time. Yeah, that's why you have to pay close attention since the beginning of the conversation where they set the context, which is about next month. So then, when you use present continuous, you know already that you're talking about next month, yeah? So pay close attention to the beginning of the conversation, to the beginning of the text, to the beginning of the instruction, the audio, yeah? So you don't think it's an action in progress right now or an action in progress these days. check the context, because you are not always going to have a time expression. Not always. Not in every sentence. Okay? Do you have any questions until now? Okay. Now check. It is important to increase your vocabulary. Yes, it is important to increase your vocabulary. Yes. But even more important than getting more and more and more vocabulary is that you use it in a correct rhythm, intonation, pronunciation have to get together, and then you are going to be clearer when you say something, when you communicate something. You have to make sure the person understands what you say. And this is not going to happen only with a lot of vocabulary. No, but with intonation, with pronunciation, with rhythm when you read. So I am going to write 2 sentences, only 2, because we are going to practice some intonation. This is not a singing lesson, no, but we have to practice intonation. Check, I'm going to finish writing this. And I am going to indicate when you have to vary this intonation. You have to stress a sentence. Sentence stress. What is the sentence stress? The stress in a word is the strong syllable. The sentence in a word is the strong syllable. For example, we have record and record. In record, the verb, the stress is in the second syllable. And in record, the noun, the stress is in the first syllable. The stress, whoa, stress, whoa, the strong syllable. Record, 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 the stress. We have a stress in words and we have stress in sentences. When you start communicating English, the most common mistake is that you don't consider the stress. And it will happen that when you get to the opportunity, when you have to speak English to someone who doesn't speak any Spanish at all, you can think about your sentence, your perfect sentence. You have a full perfect sentence to say. And then when you say it, the other person is like, huh? They don't understand you. And this happens because you said a sentence kind of in a straight line. Ba, 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 because you're thinking too much on the pronunciation per word. Per word. And pronunciation per word, it's okay. You have to be careful with pronunciation. But more than only being careful with pronunciation, you have to be careful with stress in a sentence. Rhythm. So I'm going to underline the words that are supposed to be stressed in a sentence. Check, the words I underline are the words where you are going to vary the intonation when you say something. So people understand you. Yeah? Oh, this is stress. This is rhythm when you say something. English is full of contexts. And these contexts come from rhythm. English is full of intentions. If you don't pronounce something with rhythm, with stress, people may misunderstand. Huh? People may misunderstand what you say. Listen, I'm going to Colombia on Monday. I'm going to Colombia on Monday. I'm going to Colombia on Monday. I'm exaggerating it. I'm going to Colombia on Monday. She's staying home this weekend. She's staying home this weekend. She's staying home this weekend. Can you see the rhythm? Da 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 da. Start watching movies and you are going to see that they tend to overreact. They tend to exaggerate English. They never speak like this, like in one tone. Da, 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 da. But they are like explosive. It's like, no, what are you doing? Are you saying this or are you saying that? What? Yeah, they tend to exaggerate everything. With that, they give intention to the phrase. That's why when you're learning a language, you're not only learning a language, but you're learning another way of thinking. Yeah? The way they communicate English is with intention, with rhythm, with sentence stress. So from now on, every time you read English, try to give it rhythm because that is now the most important thing for you to communicate something clearly. Not only vocabulary. Of course, we're going to get more vocabulary, yeah. But even more important than only vocabulary is stress. Listen again. I'm going to Colombia on Monday. She's staying home this weekend. Let's practice, especially with this present continuous that we already know. What are they doing on Saturday? Read the sentences, label the pictures with the correct names. Check that here we have 6 sentences and 6 pictures. Yeah? We're going to accommodate them, we're going to match them, we're going to label them in the correct picture, but with the names only. Number 1 is already there, the one that talks about Isabella. But the first sentence is not Isabella, right? Maria, can you please read the first sentence about Tom?
Yes. Tom is staying home on Saturday.
Do you remember the stress we underlined with she's staying home this weekend? Can you please imitate this? Tom is staying home on Saturday. Can you
Tom,
please try?
yes. Tom is staying home on Saturday.
Yeah, even if you don't notice it, people who speak English will notice and they will be like, huh? Only because of that pause. Tom is staying home on Saturday. Of course, that is something natural. That is kind of the natural reaction when you read something. You want to do it perfectly, word by word, but people won't understand you word by word. No, it would be very difficult for them. Practice. Tom is staying home on Saturday. What picture is where you can see what Tom is doing on Saturday? If Tom is staying home on Saturday, then what
Mm,
picture is where you
number
can see
2.
Tom? Yes, number 2. Nadia, can you please read the second sentence about Tonya?
Sure. Tonya is taking her school books to the library on Saturday.
So what picture's Tonya? It's about Tonya.
Um, Picture number 5.
Yes, Tonya. Nayeli, can you please read the third sentence?
Yes, teacher. Isabella is going to a club on Saturday.
So what picture is Isabella? Number
1.
1, which is already here, right? Irma, please, the sentence about Randy.
Yes, teacher. Randy is playing a sport on Saturday. E6.
Mhm. Irma, can you please try reading it like this? Listen. Randy is playing a sport on Saturday.
Yes, Randy is playing a sport on Saturday.
Yeah, better. Thanks. What about Emily? Who wants to read Emily? Who wants
Me.
to read the sentence about Emily?
Yo.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, please.
Like, okay. Is it number 5? 1, 2, 3, 4.
With Emily.
Emily? Okay.
Mhm.
Emily is driving to her sister's house on Saturday. Is
Okay, so
it,
what picture is it?
is it number 3?
Yes, Emily. Very good. Thanks. What about Mateo? Who wants to read the sentence about Mateo? The last one. Nadia, please.
Mateo is meeting a friend at Japanese restaurant on Saturday.
Okay. Meeting a friend.
Meeting a friend
Okay. Try to
is
exaggerate more than me. Meeting. Meeting.
meeting a friend
Okay,
is
better.
picture number 4.
Of course. Perfect. Thank you. With this information, now we're going to match the questions and answers in exercise number 3. Let's get to that. Let me just erase this first because we're going to kind of use this information. Check right here. So match the questions and answers. Use the information in the sentences and the pictures in exercise 2. Number 1. What's Tom doing on Saturday? He's watching TV. Please read the question and the answer if you want to answer. Number 2. What's Randy doing on Saturday?
He's playing soccer.
Hmm. Can you please read the question and the answer?
What's Randy doing on Saturday? He's playing soccer.
Thank you. Christian, can you please read question number 3?
Yes, teacher. What's Isabella doing on Saturday?
So we have Isabella in number 1. What do you think is the answer?
She's going dancing.
She's going dancing. Yes. What about number 4? What's Emily doing on Saturday? If you find the answer, please read the question and the answer. Nadia?
Oh, yes, as number 4. True. As what's Emily doing on Saturday?
Uh-huh.
She's visiting her sister in San Francisco.
Yes. Okay. What about number 5? What's Mateo doing on Saturday?
He's eating sushi with Naoki.
Mm. Irma, can you please read the last question and answer?
Yes, teacher. He's eating sushi with Naoki.
Okay. And can you please read now question number 6 and the last answer?
Repeat number 6.
Can you please read number 6? Yes, question number
Okay.
6.
Okay, teacher. What's Tonya doing on Saturday?
Mhm. So what is Tonya doing on Saturday?
She's doing her homework at the library.
Yes. She's doing her homework at the library. And rewrite letter D. Thank you. So now listen to the pronunciation per question and answer. Pay close attention to the intonation, the stress, okay? Try to listen and repeat. Number 1. What's Tom doing on Saturday? He's watching TV. 2. What's Randy doing on Saturday? He's playing soccer. 3. What's Isabella doing on Saturday? She's going dancing. 4. What's Emily doing on Saturday? She's visiting her sister in San Francisco. 5. What's Mateo doing on Saturday? He's eating sushi with Naoki. 6. What's Tonya doing on Saturday? She's doing her homework at the library. She's doing her homework at the library. Did you see the stress? When you start practicing stress, this is when you tend to make a lot of mistakes. It's like you start making a lot of mistakes there. Pretty natural. Listen and repeat. Listen and repeat. There's nothing else you can do. So don't stress out. Ugh. Don't stress out if you don't do it perfectly. No, but practice. Okay? Now, let's practice more present continuous. Rewrite the sentences. Use the present continuous and the words in parentheses. Number 1. She goes to work. That's present simple. Yeah? She goes to work. What is the present continuous for she goes to work? She's going to work on Monday. Number 2. He watches reruns of his favorite TV show. This is present simple. What is the present continuous form of this sentence?
He watching reruns of his favorite TV shows tonight.
Okay. There is only one little detail missing in this sentence.
Is
His. The verb be, right? He's watching reruns of his favorite TV show tonight. Future plan. Number 3. What do you do for fun? Jats, what's the present continuous question for this question in present simple?
is uh what Doing? You do for fun this week? Weekend? Sorry.
Okay. Check. This doing here is not supposed to be here yet. What we need instead of this is the verb be. What is the verb be for you?
Are you?
What are
Mhm.
you?
What are you?
Now the ing form of the verb. What are you
What are you doing
doing for fun
for fun this weekend?
this weekend? Yes. What are you doing for fun this weekend? What are you doing for fun this weekend? 4. Does he teach English in South Korea? Check. So this will be for homework. Listen. In question number 3, this do is the auxiliary because this says present simple, habits or routines. So you have to change this do for the correct verb be, because the verb be in present continuous, it's like the auxiliary. Yeah? And then the main verb, you change it to the ing form. Yeah? Verb do in present simple, verb be in present continuous. Base form of the verb in present simple, ing form in present continuous. You change the rest, and tomorrow we will check them all. Okay? Questions about your homework?
No,
No,
teacher.
No, teacher.
Okay, finish it. Don't send the teacher, this is my homework. No, tomorrow we will check it, but work on it. Okay? See you tomorrow, guys. Have a great evening. Bye
thank you,
bye.
teacher. You too.
Teacher.
Bye.
Thank
See you.
you.
Thank you.
See you.